In this tutorial I will show you a very simple system to make a rotating platform using two MDF boards, with a central axis and a very curious system that ensures that the boards turn well, without making them unstable. Furthermore, they slide easily and they are well supported. The first thing we are going to do is mark the center of the two boards. We are marking it because in one of the boards we are going to make a circular channel and in the other we are going to make a base for some balls. This is the point where we are going to mount the axis so that the boards rotate equally. In my case I am doing it with two rectangular pieces. I'm going to make a platform and I don't want you to look at the shape of my boards. What I want is to make the method clear and to take a good look at the system that I am going to use to get what I told you before. That the boards have a good support and that they rotate very easily. We are going to draw it with the help of a tri-square. These types of platforms are very useful whenever you need to make a moving object. You can use them for multiple applications. We are going to remove one of the boards. And we prepare the first. We put an old piece of wood, as always, to avoid damaging the workbench. Now what we have to do is a perfect circle. For this we are going to use a router. We mark the center with a punch. Because we need to place there the punch that the router carries as an accessory in order to make a compass. If you look closely, the result is a channel that is a perfect circumference. Whenever you do this type of job with the router, I advise you to clean it using a very fine sandpaper sponge. Now we pass just this point of the axis to the other face of the board. We are going to use a fine bit only to make a mark. On this point that we already have, we are going to use another type of drill. We are going to mount the axis with a hex head screw. And at the other end of this sandwich that we are going to assemble we are going to put a nut. What we are going to do, so that neither the nut nor the bolt gets stuck in the DM, is to place a wide fender washer. Then, we have to start by making a hole of the diameter of the washer so that the head stays embedded and the boards stay flush with our work table and do not bother us. As you can see, in this way, the washer will be perfectly inserted and we will have room for the screw head to also be embedded. Once we have this hole done, we can work on the inside. Always do the one with the spade bit first, because if we do the other one first, we lose the center. If you watch carefully, the spade bit has a spear at the tip. If we drill a larger diameter hole, we lose the center and we would make the final hole, that of the spade bit, off-center. Now we use a 10 mm, 3/8 drill bit, which is the diameter of the screw that we are going to use. We clean it and we check, first of all, that the screw goes through perfectly with its head. As you can see, it is perfectly aligned and will not get in the way when the piece is in its position. To prepare the next piece, we are going to take a compass and we are going to measure the circumference that we have made. We place it well in the centers because we are going to pass this measure to the other table. We remove this and place the next one. On this one, we have to mark the axis. Now we draw with the compass. Take a good look, this carpenter's compass scratches the wood. We don't need the pencil. If you ever need it, you can place a pencil glued with tape to mark the line. We already have it. What are we going to mark now? If you look carefully, we have 1, 2, 3 and 4 points, but we want 4 more points of support. We place the compass at this point and we trace this line. We place it here and draw this other line. We already have 2 more points. We are going to make another one on this side to get the other 2 points that we need. We mark here. We prick there. And we mark here. In case you don't see them well, I'm going to mark them with the pencil where they intersect. That is where we have the axis. From there we are going to draw. We use the tri-square to connect the points. We'd have one here where it intersects with the circumference and the other one is here. To do the other side, we repeat the same operation. We match the ruler with the center and with the point that we have drawn. We mark down there and we do the same here too. We already have the 8 landmarks. In this way, they are all distributed at the same distance and in the same position. With the fine bit, let's mark. We already have the 8 points marked. Now what we have to do is a larger diameter hole. To do this, instead of using a metal or wooden drill bit, which are very fast to act and can give you greater depth than wanted, I am going to use a tungsten carbide's bit. We will use it to drill the surface of the DM, but it will have more difficulty to drill further into it. The tungsten carbide's bit, which is specific for walls, it has a head with this shape which will prevent it from drilling quickly. We clean it a little and we check its depth. We are making the head flush with the surface of the board. That is the depth that we are going to give to all the holes. We sand it all and we place the balls to check the depth that we have given to all the holes. These are the balls that we are going to use on our platform. Some simple marbles. We place them. They make you want to play. But no, this time we are going to use them for something else. We check that all the drills are correct. As you can see, the depth of the marbles is the same. The ruler stays parallel to the board. The next step is to remove the marbles. And then we prepare the axis exactly as we did with the other piece of wood. Remember to do the small drill first. Next, we flip the board to work on this face. The next bit we are going to use is the spade bit. We need to check the depth with a nut and a washer. We still have to drill a little deeper. We are going to prepare this piece now. The last thing we do is to drill the center hole with the 10 mm 3/8 bit. We move it away from the table a bit to give it a little slack. As both the screw and the drill are 10 mm 3/8, it goes in too tight and will make the assembly difficult. Here we have the first axis ready. We hold it and turn it over. As you can see, the screw does not get in the way, nor does it rub. In the center we are going to place another washer and a nut. We tighten it with the key so that it does not move. We are now going to apply an element that softens the friction that each marble will have with the board. In this case, what I am going to use is a lubricant, a Vaseline. In the case of raw wood, if we give it some kind of spray, it will absorb it. In addition, the Vaseline will help us fix the marbles a little. We place again the marbles that are going to rotate on the channel that we have made in the other piece. In this way they remain fixed and they will rotate, if you look closely, on their own axis but without moving from their place. We check that the piece that we are going to put on top fits well. Perfect. It fits completely on the channel. But also on the channel we are going to apply a little more Vaseline. This way you will facilitate that the movement is smoother. As I said before, what I want you to learn from this tutorial is the system, not the shape of the boards. You can make them circular, larger or smaller, in diameter. Of course, if the diameter is larger, you will have to introduce more balls, so that the support of the two boards is perfect, it is well balanced and thus prevents them from moving. In this way they run perfectly. I am going to put the top nut. We will also put another washer. As you can see, they fit perfectly and, having worked the axes at the same point, we do not have any deviation. In this case I am using normal nuts. You can use lock nuts and thus you will ensure that they do not loosen. Now I'm going to ask my colleague to get closer with the camera so I can show you how the marbles rotate inside the boards and how well they fit. I am also going to help him by lighting up the boards. Okay, that is enough. Now, we only have to do one thing, which is to cut the remaining of the screw with the help of an angle grinder. We are not going to cut it because we don't need it and maybe, in your case what you need is to put a longer screw because you are going to put a piece on it. If you want to use the entire platform without the screw, cut it with the angle grinder. I hope this tutorial helps you a lot. If so, thanks for your like and don't forget to subscribe.